In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the repeat until command. So in the text format, the repeat until command is followed by a condition in parentheses right next to it. There's some open and closed braces, and there'll be some sort of coding statements that are executed until this condition becomes true. And the block version is basically the same thing. You have the words repeat until, the condition is up here, and the statements that repeat are in this section of the block. So let's go ahead and see what this would look like in Snap and then what it would look like in Python. In Snap, it's almost verbatim exactly the same thing. I've created a variable called stopper here and set it equal to 1. And if you notice, if I evaluate this little element right here, it evaluates to false when stopper is not greater than 10. So since 1 is not greater than 10, it's going to be false. If I go in here and I reset stopper to 11, this evaluates as true. So this little Boolean element right here is what's going to drive our loop. I'll go ahead and reset stopper back to 1, and you'll see that what's going to happen is I'm going to say something, and then after I get done saying something, I'm going to make stopper get bigger, and eventually stopper will exceed the truth value, and this will become a true statement. So while it's false, my code is running, and you see you have hello 1 2 3 4, and while stopper is not greater than 10, or while stopper greater than 10 is false, the code runs. And then as soon as stopper becomes true, and as soon as this becomes a true statement, it stops doing all this code in here. And like I said, so that's verbatim, almost identical to what the pseudo code says. With Python, it's a little bit different. Python doesn't have a repeat until, so what I have to do is I have to take the negative of while something runs. So normally in Python, we say while the conditional is true, let's run it. But if I put a not in front of that conditional, it's while the condition is not true, run it. And then when the condition becomes true, that's what stops the running is. So if I go ahead and run this cell right here, you'll see that it prints out 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. And when stopper is greater than 10, when this conditional right here becomes true, then that's when this body of code stops executing. So if you're used to thinking about coding in Python, basically think of a backwards while statement or an inverted or negated while statement for what's happening in the pseudocode for a repeat until block. I hope you found this information useful.